Kane's been an integral part of the WWE since back when it was universally known as the WWF. The Big Red Machine has been synonymous with wrestling fans around the world for his trademark red and black getup, his patented pyrotechnic entrance, and his signature Chokeslam. However, the story behind Kane's now successful career has never been chronicled in its entirety. So here is Wrestling Origins Kane. Kane, real name Glenn Thomas Jacobs, was born into an Air Force family that was being stationed in Madrid, Spain. Although he was born in Spain, Jacobs was formerly brought up in the city of Hannibal, Missouri. In academics, Jacob was able to get a degree in English literature from Kirksville Truman State University. Before fully immersing himself into the world of professional wrestling, Jacobs worked as a substitute teacher in St. Louis after college. After receiving training from Dean Malenko and Ray Candy, Jacobs forayed into professional wrestling as Angus King in St. Louis CSWA wrestling promotion. Later, Jacobs moved south where he worked as Doomsday, followed by appearances on USWA and Smoky Mountain Wrestling as the Christmas Creature and Unabomb respectively. His tenures in both these companies saw him win the USWA heavyweight title as well as the Smoky Mountain Wrestling tag team titles alongside Al Snow. Along with these promotions, Jacobs grew his wrestling profile through his work with Japan's Pro Wrestling Fujiwara Gumi, Puerto Rico's World Wrestling Council, and World Championship Wrestling. On February 20th of 1995, Jacobs made his untelevised in-ring debut in the WWF as Mike Unabomb against Reno Riggins. Jacobs worked a few dark matches as Unabomb before making his first televised appearance as the villainous dentist Isaac Yankem. Hired by Jerry the King Lawler, Yankem's job was to rid the WWF of Lawler's enemy, Bret Hart. But after having a mediocre feud with Bret Hart, Yankem found himself pushed down the totem pole into a jobber's position. Jacobs dropped the gimmick after completion of the WWF's tour of South Africa in '96. After a few months passed though, Jacob was roped in to portray the fake Diesel during the infamous imposter storyline. Although heavily criticized by critics and fans alike, the storyline went on for almost a year, with Jacobs continuing to make sporadic appearances as Diesel through April of '97. After donning two of the worst gimmicks in professional wrestling history, Jacobs was finally able to strike gimmick gold with the Big Red Machine Kane. In October, after 6 months of slow and meticulous build-up, Jacobs finally made his re-debut as The Undertaker's half-brother Kane at Bad Blood in Your House, costing The Undertaker his match against Shawn Michaels in the inaugural Hell in a Cell match. Post Bad Blood, it seemed that a feud between the two brothers was inevitable. However, Taker initially refused to fight Kane. This refusal led to a brief partnership between the two behemoths before Kane betrayed Taker by costing him the WWF title. After Kane cost Undertaker the match in a final act of betrayal, he locked Taker in a casket and set it on fire. Taker would return at WrestleMania 14 to finally settle the score with his brother. In the end, the Demon of Death Valley proved victorious against Kane, but after the match, Kane and Paul Bearer assaulted Taker, implying that the feud had yet to reach its conclusion. After their match at Mania, Taker and Kane had several other matches, and the feud finally culminated at the '98 Unforgiven pay-per-view in an Inferno match, which saw Taker emerge victorious against the Big Red Machine. After his feud with Taker, Kane set his sights on Stone Cold Steve Austin's WWF Championship, which he eventually won at the King of the Ring pay-per-view in 1998. But the Monster's reign lasted only for 24 hours, as he lost the title back to the Rattlesnake the following night on Raw. After losing the WWF title, Kane teamed up with Mankind and pursued the tag titles, which the duo won twice. Throughout the entirety of '98 and 2000, Kane participated in a myriad of storylines, with the notable ones involving his double turn with Undertaker, teaming up with the Corporation, and then later teaming up with X-Pac. Throughout 2000, Kane stayed in contention for the WWF title, but never managed to win back the championship he once held. Post WrestleMania 17, Kane once again began teaming up with his half-brother The Undertaker. Both superstars joined the tag team division under the moniker of the Brothers of Destruction. Throughout 2001, the Brothers of Destruction went on to have feuds with tag teams such as Edge and Christian, Rikishi and Haku, and the two-man Power Trip. During their feud with the two-man Power Trip, Kane defeated Triple H to win the IC title, becoming the third Grand Slam champion by not only winning the IC title, but the WWF Championship, the Tag Team titles, and the Hardcore Championship. In April of 2002, Kane suffered a torn bicep and was required to stay out of action for a few months. Upon his return from injury, Kane won the World Tag Team titles with the Hurricane, which the duo would later lose the belts to the team of Chris Jericho and Christian. In October, Kane began feuding with Triple H for the World Heavyweight title, with the storyline eventually leading up to the infamous Katie Vick segment. Triple H claimed that Kane had a relationship with a woman named Katie Vick, who later lost her life in a car accident. An even bigger claim was made by Triple H when it was alleged that he had intercourse with the woman's corpse. The game backed his claim by making a mock footage of him entering a coffin while wearing Kane's mask. The Katie Vick segment was unanimously bashed by the fans, forcing the WWE to never bring it up again throughout the rest of the storyline. After losing his Intercontinental Championship to Triple H, Kane teamed up with Rob Van Dam and won the World Tag Team titles. After losing the tag titles to La Resistance at Bad Blood 03, Triple H offered Kane a spot in Evolution. Raw General Manager Stone Cold told Kane that he would offer him a match for the World Heavyweight title if he rejected Triple H's offer. On the other hand, co-general manager Eric Bischoff told Kane that he would have to unmask if he lost the championship match. Kane rejected Triple H's offer and challenged him for the title. Unfortunately, Kane lost the match due to interference from Evolution and was forced to unmask. In 2004, Kane once again got embroiled into a feud with The Undertaker, with the Dead Man going over the Big Red Machine at WrestleMania 20. After losing to The Undertaker, Kane found himself entangled in a love triangle with Lita and Matt Hardy, with Matt and Kane fighting over the right to father Lita's unborn child. Kane defeated Matt and began a relationship with Lita. The duo even went on to have a televised wedding segment. Later, Kane turned face after a debuting Snitsky caused Lita to miscarry. The storyline ended with Lita eventually turning on Kane by teaming up with Edge. From 2005, Kane began teaming up with The Big Show, with the two winning the World Tag Team titles in the process. The duo went on to successfully retain those titles throughout the remainder of 2005 before Kane turned on The Big Show after hearing voices in his head. Kane began assaulting anyone who mentioned the date May 19th in front of him. The gimmick carried on for a while, which after May 19th was revealed to be nothing more than a marketing ploy for Kane's first feature film, See No Evil. After the storyline ended, Kane went on a 2-month European promotional tour for See No Evil. I just want to say what an Easter egg that is to try to figure out what does May 19th mean, and then it's like, oh, it's going to be in my movie, go watch it. It's like, if you want the Easter egg, you got to stick your hand up the rabbit's ass and grab it. But anyways. After Kane returned from his tour, he engaged in a major feud with Umaga. The feud culminated in a loser leaves Raw match which saw Kane take the fall, thus making him move to SmackDown. After his debut on SmackDown, Kane teamed up with The Undertaker to take on the forces of Mr. Kennedy and MVP. The Brothers of Destruction successfully defeated the villainous duo in an Inferno match at Armageddon 06. Afterwards, the brothers went their separate ways and Kane found himself engaged in a feud with the Great Khali. This feud culminated to WrestleMania 23, with Kane taking the pinfall. Later, Kane would go on to have several short feuds with superstars such as William Regal, Mark Henry, Finlay, and Big Daddy V to name a few. At WrestleMania 24, Kane defeated ECW champion Chavo Guerrero in a record-setting 11 seconds to win the title. After his victory, Kane officially joined the ECW roster. However, during the 2008 draft, Kane got drafted to Raw, thus making the ECW title exclusive to Raw. Kane lost the championship to Mark Henry at the Night of Champions pay-per-view in a triple threat match which also involved The Big Show. In 2010, at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, Kane was able to not only win the ladder match but successfully cash in on Rey Mysterio to become the World Heavyweight Champion. He also defended his championship against Rey Mysterio at SummerSlam before beginning a feud with The Undertaker. Unlike their previous matches, Kane managed to win all his title defenses against the Phenom. Soon after, Kane then began a feud with Edge for the world title, which Edge won at the TLC pay-per-view in a fatal 4-way match that also involved Rey Mysterio and Alberto Del Rio. Upon losing the title, Kane tried several times to regain it, but failed to do so. In November of 2011, Kane returned to Raw after recuperating from a 5-month-long calf injury. However, this time the Big Red Machine remasked himself and got a brand new attire. Upon his return, Kane feuded with John Cena, Zack Ryder, and Randy Orton before inserting himself into the WWE title picture. Kane engaged in a 3-way feud with the WWE Champion CM Punk and Daniel Bryan. The feud culminated in a triple threat match at the No Way Out pay-per-view, with CM Punk retaining the title over Kane and Bryan. Kane later went on to face Daniel Bryan at WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view, which saw Bryan take the winning pin. Later, both Kane and Bryan were enrolled into anger management classes, which resulted in the two becoming a tag team. The WWE Universe dubbed the two as Team Hell No, and the team went on to win the tag team titles before losing to the Shield's Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins at Extreme Rules, thus ending their 245-day title reign. Later, Team Hell No and Randy Orton successfully managed to end the Shield's undefeated tag streak. The two went their separate ways, and Kane went on to have a feud with Bray Wyatt and his entire family. Throughout the feud, Kane found himself at a disadvantage against the trio, with him eventually losing their blow-off match at SummerSlam. Kane was taken out of WWE programming via an on-screen scripted injury to film See No Evil 2. After his hiatus, Kane returned in 2013 and joined the mega heel corporate faction, The Authority. Kane surrendered his mask to Stephanie McMahon, who in turn made him the Director of Operations of Raw. As a part of The Authority, Kane, now called Corporate Kane, did all their dirty work, including helping Seth Rollins win the Money in the Bank match. He also represented The Authority by participating in the Survivor Series match against Team Cena. After serving under The Authority for 2 years, Kane turned face and reassumed his mask persona. He feuded with Seth Rollins for the WWE World title, before reuniting with The Undertaker to take on Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. As a part of the 2016 draft, Kane was drafted from Raw to SmackDown Live. There he began feuding alongside Randy Orton with the Wyatt family. However, after unsuccessful attempts to take out Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton turned on Kane and joined the Wyatt family. After his feud with the Wyatt family, Kane vanished from the WWE programming to focus on his career in politics by running for mayor of Knox County, Tennessee. Taking a break from his political activities, Kane returned to the WWE a year later on the October 16th edition of Raw. He also participated in a 5-on-3 handicap match alongside The Miz, The Bar, and Braun Strowman at TLC against The Shield. During the match, Kane turned on his team by brutally attacking Braun Strowman. The following night on Raw, Kane explained his actions to the universe by announcing that he was the one and only monster of the Red brand. After a few brief skirmishes with Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, Kane began a feud with Braun Strowman. The feud is still going on, and the two will be facing each other at the Royal Rumble with Brock Lesnar in a triple threat match with the Universal title on the line. Outside the world of pro wrestling, Jacobs works as an insurer along with his wife, who owns an Allstate agency in Knoxville, Tennessee. And this was Wrestling Origins Kane. I hope you're having an amazing day. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you're all having an amazing time. I already said that. So goodbye.